Have you changed your style of making a banjo? Is it different? Like, is anything you do that's just out and out, like that's what everyone knows Stelling?
Well, I haven't changed my basic design, which has a wedge fit. And I do the compensated nut still. The only thing I've done is tried to make it a little bit lighter, and then changing to the Tony Pass rim, which is very expensive, but it's real consistent.
Do you play in, you do play, I've heard you on the Sirius.
Oh, yeah.
Sirius, do you still play around? You have your own band?
I don't have a band anymore. That's
but you did, yeah, because I've heard you on Sirius.
I do have a couple of CDs now. Well, there's an album that Rebel put out for me called the Stelling Banjo Anthology.
Oh,
and that gets played a lot on Sirius.
Yeah.
And Rebel sends me a royalty check every now and then.
Oh, well, that's cool.
Nice.
And that's probably the only reason you heard me, because I have 2 tunes on that.
No.
Riding and Stelling and Home Sweet Home. So what do you think?
Sounds great.
One thing I didn't check was to see if your rim rods have loosened up in the last 4 years. They normally do as the wood shrinks and everything.
What do you recommend to people as far as so this kind of thing doesn't happen?
It just happens.
It's gonna happen.
Check it a couple of times a year.
Yeah.
It's kind of like having your car tuned up every 6 months or every year. Things change, things wear out, and
where's the serial number?
6759. Yeah, it's in here somewhere. It's probably a few pages back.
Yeah. Is your family in the business now? You have?
No, I don't. McRae Fox 2011. There it is.
6759.
6759.
7311. Yep.
12-1.
Yep. It's right there. 7311. That I feel bad about the signature. We were playing at a 4th of July party 1 year after I got it, so it was like literally a year later after it was made, and a kid jumped in the pool right near where we were playing, and 1 drop of water landed directly on the head.
Well, at least you have a story to tell with it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, yeah, I would put semichrome on that. If you want to brighten that up, see if I have some. No, I got some somewhere. Hate to disturb all that stuff over there. It might lose. So here it is. Comes from Germany. And before you completely go to, your tarnish is worn out the nickel, this will save it. Or at least bring it back somewhat. Once it starts turning really dark and rough, you've gone through the nickel. But you still have something left.
Do you have a little bit of a rattle too in the? Is that able to be tightened? I was never able to really tighten that.
What you do is you lift it up just slightly off the head, off the tension hook.
Oh, okay.
Otherwise, you have to put something underneath there to stop that. Because it's touching these hooks too. The only way to fix that would be to bend it out, and I don't think I want to do that. Well, that looks a lot better.
Sure does.
Now, if you did that to the whole thing, it would look like new. But I'll let you do that.
I can do that.
And if you catch it early, you'll bring it back to its original shine. If you let it go for years and years, then you never get that shine back. I'll show you a banjo where it was sitting in the case for 15 years. This is what happened. It's like, feel that.
Oh yeah.
And look at it.
Really rough.
There's no way to shine that. It's dead. Look at that tailpiece.
Wow.
So what I'm doing is I'm going to trade him all these worthless parts for some used parts that look like new compared to that.
Do you have anything else you could show us that would be really cool to see?
A couple of finished banjos over against the wall. The only ones in the shop that are finished.
These three. Do you do the inlay on the resonators too?
Well, that's an overlay. The original first one of them was inlaid, but we wanted it to kind of stand out. That's an inlay.
Mm-hmm.
We do all that.
And you do that.
Yeah.
You do that right here too.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. That's really beautiful. You have a few different models of the banjos that you do.
There are about 10.
10. Are they? Is it pretty much? Is it finish that's different, or are there core components that are really different also in the?
It's the inlay.
Yeah.
And the trim and the wood.
But the tone ring and the rim and the, yeah.
See this is curly walnut.
Mm-hmm.
The staghorn has the most. Well, the Master's Cross and Staghorn have the fanciest wood. There's a Staghorn.
But is the tone pretty similar then between all the models?
Yeah, these are all made out of walnut, so they should all sound pretty much the same if you set them up.
It's just the finish. It's just the inlay and the way the neck is designed. The way the neck is designed.
The neck shape is the exact same shape on every one of them.
Right.
The trim on the side may vary from model to model. Like this has got a little purfling like that on the side. The Staghorn has abalone trim on the side. This just has ivory and purfling rings in the resonator. So
which one's this?
That's a master flower.
I recall reading something about how certain woods have been deemed where they don't allow people to buy them anymore.
Well, that would be like the
affecting
Brazilian rosewood. And
does that affect you much?
it hasn't affected me yet, because I buy all my ebony.
Yeah. Can you get ebony for the necks?
A guy that
for the
does my inlay work, and he, as long as he buys it from an authorized source,
you can
and he's got the documentation, there's no problem.
Are your fingerboards ebony?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't use any Brazilian rosewood anymore. I'm not making guitars.
Right.
And that would be the big problem for those guys.
Do you make anything besides banjo? I thought
Well, we've made
mandolins.
We made about 150 mandolins, and there are 101 guitars with my name on them. Geoff Huss and Mark Dalton, who used to work for me, make the guitars.
Oh yeah, they're in business together.
And they're
right?
in
The
business
Huss
for
and-
themselves.
Yeah.
After making 8 for me,
That was it.
just 8 in my shop. Then I was buying them from his shop at his house. And then they moved to a shop in Stanton. And Mark Dalton used to work here, and he quit and bought half the company. And then I stopped buying guitars from him because we were having a little competition. A lot of competition. I'd like to see you clean this thing up
I will.
before the next time I see you.
Okay. I definitely will.
Gary, I think what
I
he
said on the way down, I said, you know what? I didn't give it a good polishing before I came. I could grab it. You don't know how many people were disappointed at Gray Fox that I didn't have this with me.
Yeah, well, if you don't know how to set it up, it would have been groundbreaking.
I saw your website has all the setup steps.
Yeah, and the service manual is really more in depth. It's a 10-page book.
Okay.
Color pictures and everything.
Gotta get one of these. Drum dial.
Yeah.
we were wondering, coming here, we had like no clue like what the factory or whatever you'd call it,
It's a shop.
what the shop would look like. We're like,
It's an old schoolhouse.
is that what this is?
Before someone put in the second floor and the interior walls, this was all one big room. Built in 1900. And it was built for 16 students.
All lives up on this mountain.
All lived in this area and shortly after we moved here, we had a school reunion because a lot of the people were still alive.
Oh, wow.
And we had a teacher here that taught the last year the school was open, which was 1947. And one of the oldest students was like 97 years old.
Oh, my gosh.
And they had a wonderful time.
I bet. Are you from this general area?
No, I just went to the University of Virginia for 2 years. And then my second wife was from Virginia, and she wanted to move back to be closer to her parents.
Mm-hmm.
And she just liked Virginia, so I said, well, if we can find a place which is nice as what we have out in California, or better, I'll move.
Who are some of the musicians over the years that sported the Stelling?
Well, some of the most famous were Ralph Stanley,
Wow.
Sonny Osborne, Little Roy Lewis,
Wow.
Chris Warner played with Jimmy Martin, so did Alan Mundy, Tom Adams. A lot of Jimmy Martin's banjo players had my banjo.
Wow.
Larry Wallace was another one in Linwood, Lunsford.
And I was saying nobody did a custom Gray Fox this year. Like Deering did a banjo, but they did a 40th anniversary of Deering banjo. They did a commemorative Deering banjo.
I started doing the custom Gray Fox and Winterhawk, and then Martin tried to copy that idea. But their inlay work was nowhere near as detailed as this.
This is just beautiful. I mean, I get compliments everywhere I go.
The Winterhawk was even more artistic because it had a lot of engraving on it. Well, we had a Gray Fox going out every year up until this last year.
We didn't do one.
We didn't do one for...
We didn't do one last year or this year, right?
I believe I did one last year, and that was the last one I did.
Okay. I think David cut the inlay on that.
Yeah.
I can tell you by looking at my serial number. The last Gray Fox was made last June of 2014.
So this was the first year without.
Yeah. First year since 93, I think. I did it for 21 years.
Wow. So we had Winterhawk ones too.
Yeah. Counting the Winterhawk.
Yeah.
Well, you want to go over to the office?
Yeah,
That'd
definitely.
be great.
He's on this thing. He plays cross-eyed fiddler and he plays mandolin on all these things. That was a 46 Ford pickup I had. I drove it to Hugo, Oklahoma for a festival there. And there was a girl in the audience who was sketching, and she sketched my truck, my camper.
And that's here.
And then gave me the drawing, and I put it on my album cover.
Oh, that's awesome. Let me see that guy. Put that up here. So.
Hey, this is the full-size version.
Oh, that is cool.
Oh,
the vinyl.
Yeah, this is the real thing. There's Tom up in the back of the pickup.
Oh, okay. That's him.
Yeah, way up there. See, we took all the artwork off of the original.
Mm-hmm. That looks nice on there.
That is nice.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Wow. Good old days of vinyl.
Let's see what other goodies we have.
T-shirts and hats.
I have the yellow hat.
Oh, the mustard.
Yeah.
This one
here. This one here.
Yeah, that's one of our most popular colors.
I like it.
Maybe it's because people like mustard. These have one side of artwork, and they're $10.
see that
These
over
are
there,
two-sided, they're $15. And we're basically not making any of this stuff anymore. I mean, we're running out of stock, and if we do run out, I don't know if we're going to replace it or not.